The time for action has arrived.
Enough is enough is enough. We all know that Donald Trump tried to steal this election in 2020. We know this because there's been evidence that has been mounting for months pointing in his direction, despite the screams of him and his supporters saying that Joe Biden stole the election, that Joe Biden is the evil one who tried to destroy our Constitution. We have nothing but evidence showing that it was all him. Now, I just read an article from The Guardian, and it just screams that Donald Trump needs to be arrested for sedition. Because make no mistake about this. What Donald Trump tried to do on January 6th and the months leading towards it after the election was called for Joe Biden was an act of sedition. Reading from this article, Trump called aides hours before Capitol riot to discuss how to stop Biden victory. It alleges that sources told The Guardian that Trump pressed his lieutenants at the Willard Hotel in Washington about ways to delay the certification of the election results. Now, this is old news, but it still screams that it's time for the Justice Department to do their jobs and place President Donald Trump under arrest immediately. Now, according to this article, the former president told the lieutenants, his then vice president, Mike Pence, was reluctant to go with the plan to commandeer his largely ceremonial role at the joint session of Congress in a way that will allow Trump to retain the presidency for a second term. So basically, Trump called his people to try and stop the election results being certified on January 6th. To tell that he knew that Mike Pence wasn't going to stop the certification. But as Trump relayed to them the situation with Pence, he pressed his lieutenants about ways to stop Biden's certification from taking place on January 6th and delayed the certification and to get alternate slates of electors for Trump sent to Congress. So basically, he was trying to steal the damn election by trying to get Biden electors out of Congress and replace them with Trump electors, which is an act of sedition. Now, the former president's remarks came as part of a strategy that he had from the White House with the lieutenants at the Willard. Now, you may recognize these names. His team, led by names like Giuliani, Eastman, Epstein, Bannon, all of them met to try to delay the certification. Now, these multiple sources, according to The Guardian, who are speaking on the condition of anonymity, describe Trump's involvement in the effort to subvert the results of the 2020 election. It's time this anonymity stuff stops. This isn't a time to wait in the shadows or hide in the shadows. Donald Trump tried to steal the election. Come out and say it. Identify yourselves and say what happened. Now, what really stopped all of this, what it all put it to a screeching halt, was the January 6th insurrection, in which Donald Trump, make no mistake about this, Donald Trump told his supporters to march at the Capitol. Now, it can be argued that he didn't know what was going to happen. I call bullshit on that because he knew exactly what was going to happen. What happened? We all saw that this was going to happen. All of us knew sooner or later in the 4 years that Donald Trump was head of this government, we knew something like this was going to go down. Now, he made several calls the night before January 6th, phoned his lawyers as Giuliani wanted non-lawyers to participation to jeopardize the attorney-client privilege. Now, Trump's calls to the lieutenant came a day after Eastman outlined at a January 4 meeting at the White House how he could think Mike Pence was going to usurp his role in order to stop Biden's certification from happening at the joint session on that day. Now, we already saw the 4-page memo. We saw the memo. No new news. So why is the Justice Department delaying putting the cuffs on Donald Trump, Eastman, Giuliani, and the rest of his these traitors? Why are they delaying? The House Select Committee on January 6th knows about all of this. They should know by now. Now, we already know what the memo from Eastman said, outlining several ways for Pence to commandeer his role, including throwing the election to the House or adjourning the session to give states time to send slate of electors for Donald Trump on the basis of election fraud, which has not been proven. That, more to the point, has been disproven over and over and over and over and over and over again. But every single time election frauds have been investigated against Trump, every single time it is shown that was Donald Trump or someone in the Trump camp or a Trump supporter who tried to do election fraud. Enough is enough. I have asked, now I'm demanding. You can take this any way you want. Merrick Garland, the Attorney General of the United States, I demand that you arrest Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, John Eastman, and anyone else who had anything to do with this seditious activity. Because make no mistake about this, it's bad enough that Donald Trump pushed what happened on January 6th. But now we have evidence he was trying to steal the election. Clear evidence. And as for the people who want to remain in the shadows talking about this under anonymity, come out and say what happened. Testify before the January 6th Select Committee. Tell the world on CNN, ABC, in person. Because there's still people out there who believe that Donald Trump won this election when Donald Trump was actually trying to steal this election. Enough is enough, Garland. These people tried to destroy our democracy, all for the sake of Donald Trump, all for the sake of him remaining in power, all for the sake of him staying out of prison, one way or another. It's time for the bipartisan hopes to be finished. They do not want to work with us. They tried to destroy our democracy for the sake of Trump. So Merrick Garland, I know you got a full plate of whatever's going on there, but this needs to be on the top of the pile. Arrest Trump now. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.